Hello, everyone, and welcome to a little thing called Talking About Life and Junk While Playing Web Fishing. I hope to make this a little bit of a serious type of video. Not really serious, but somewhat like something to take seriously in some sort of way. Like, I could talk about serious topics, I could talk about other things as well, something about my interests, and why not, while just playing this little stupid game called web fishing. So, what this is about, it's about me talking to you guys about what goes on around in my life, or just something that relates to my interests, and I'm willing to talk it to you. I'm willing to talk to you guys. Sorry about my stuttering. I have a very difficult time trying to talk, and hopefully with whatever I do here, it won't be as bad as I usually have trouble with speaking. So, yeah, welcome to the video. Hopefully you guys have it on in the background or something, and hopefully doing whatever, listening to me, because obviously, like, for me, it's kind of like an issue for me because I sometimes get interrupted. I sometimes feel like, oh, I'm just just there, just sitting there doing nothing, just doing whatever, and it's kind of strange. So it's like, right, you're in a group and you don't feel like you're supposed to be there. You just feel like you just feel like you're just alone, and you just can't really talk to anyone. It's like, you know, it's like sitting by yourself at the school cafeteria, if that makes sense. Just sitting all by yourself when there's crowds and crowds of people just talking, all sorts of things that you want to talk about, but you're just sitting there doing whatever because you literally can't even talk to no one. It's kind of a struggle, and it's kind of like something that happens to me for the most part. I was not really into talking to people when I was in school, because right now I graduated, and I've been doing fine at home. I've been just doing whatever, just chilling at home, staying in this place, talking to family, and keeping in touch with everyone that I care about. And hopefully they've been doing well and stuff. But more recently, my family has not, because of a few little issues that have been going on recently. Nothing like fighting or anything, but it's just life problems. Life problems that you obviously can't really avoid and you can't really ignore. Wow, I just caught a bull shark. But no, you just can't really ignore that, and it kind of sucks. It sucks for the most part, and you can't really avoid that at all. And I'm sorry to anyone that feels the same way as I do with all these feelings that I currently have, especially with the whole family stuff, because family is not a really like well conversation to talk about to people, but at the same time it's something you have to get off your chest, because something like that can really clog up your brain, and that's the only thing you could really think of. And it's kind of sad, because it's you want to let these feelings go, but you really can't. And something like that is just kind of terrible to deal with, and it makes you struggle a lot. But something like this can obviously ruin your health, ruin your mental health in some cases. But for me, like I had to learn. I had to completely learn to like just try to maintain this sort of balance, and try to hopefully think of the positives, and think of so much you just think of things that will say oh, this might happen, something like anxiety. For me, I had anxiety. I used to have social anxiety. I still do. When it comes to real life and me trying to interact with people, I stutter a lot, and I can't really talk to people at all, and it's just kind of mind numbing and everything, because it's you try to explain something, and then you just can't, your brain just turns off like that, and you can't really talk. It's with me and my family. It's say one time we went to a little restaurant together, And while we were in that restaurant, we decided to have a bunch of conversations, like what we're gonna do later in life, what jobs we have planning, like what jobs we want to do when we grow up or something like that, what we want to do when we're gonna get married, and a bunch of other things. But I feel like I'm not ready for those kinds of conversations yet. I want to live my life at the moment, trying to do what I love, maintaining this balance so I can actually be around my friends and be around family members and all of that. But I feel like I might just be like all by myself once more because of the social anxieties that I have and everything else. And it's kind of strange, like how this one little thing can be like so difficult to talk about, or like so difficult to like express in a way, all because of this little thing. And it's so strange and everything. Like I had to deal with this for like the longest time since about 2018, and me talking about 2018 is a very, very like bad topic for me, because 2018 was the start of something that like I really don't want to look back on, but at the same time it's really hard to ignore because it made me become the person who I am today. That I kind of thank that year for existing to for making me become who I want to be in life, and for me to be this person of who I am, and to be here talking with you guys and talking with a bunch of people, like having all of these friends that are willing to support me in everything I do. It's life changing, and seeing all of that happen after years and years of struggling with depression and anxiety has genuinely made me overcome them. And I cannot thank it enough. I cannot thank like everyone enough. I never say it to people, but usually in social medias and all that, I think like thanking them through posts and everything genuinely makes a difference. And like hopefully they all get the message. They all get like the message saying like, "Oh man, I really did change this guy's life. Oh man. Wow, I can't believe it. Like I was an inspiration." Man, it reminds me about like 2 days ago, 3 days ago, I don't recall. Me and a couple of friends were in a call together. We were playing buckshot roulette, and it was fun. A friend gifted me it, and they gifted it me first, like for the first time, and then eventually I just oh wait, I have no bait, whatever. And eventually I just declined it because by that time, um, I was already busy with a ton of stuff. I was busy with like cleaning my room, a ton of stuff. Whoops. I was cleaning my room and cleaning around the place, trying to get things perfect for my mom and everything because I want to make her proud. So it was already stressing me out because it was a couple of hours before she comes back home from work, and it's kind of like from it's kind of like stressing me out. So like I just decided to decline. When they already called me, two of my friends called me through my actual phone number, which I had no idea because my phone was charging, and I had the ringer off so I wouldn't get distracted or anything. But I was being kind of ominous with the messages I would send, but I'm really sorry if that like had any of you guys worried or anything, but um, it's because I was already stressed out by then, so I apologize for that. But it reminds me, like I said, of the time we were playing buckshot roulette with me and a few people. Just out of the blue, we were having these like fun arguments and stuff, like, oh, I'll do this, I'll do that. It's like, oh, now you did this, or now you did that, and it was pretty funny. And then just out of nowhere, out of the blue, a friend of mine, just because it was just me and him in the match, and out of nowhere, they're just like the bond we made together was like, I don't know, like the bond we have, and that to see how far I've came as a person and a bunch of things of how like inspiring the way I have changed as a person and the way I improved is very inspiring and a whole bunch of other things. And genuinely that has made me gone to the verge of tears. Like I as much as I like really like notice that I have been an inspiration to some people, but just hearing it from someone makes me like proud of myself. Like I've accomplished a goal that I've wanted to do for a long time. I've wanted to inspire people. I've wanted to like teach people how to do these things, and like everything that I have done is something that I've wanted for such a long time. Even as a kid, I wanted to like do this. I wanted to make animations. I wanted to make like art. I wanted to draw. I wanted to make games. I wanted to like make stuff. I wanted to like become a game developer to hopefully inspire those. That's why I do multiple things. I have multiple hobbies. Like I animate, I draw, I voice act sometimes, I code, I make music, all of this stuff because for one, I want to explore how much I can take for myself before actually like persevering as like a developer. And I just want to, inspire people. I want to like spread kindness around the world. I want to spread like so much information of what I do and like what people can do cuz you can do so much even by yourself. You can do whatever you want. You can do like anything your heart's content. And me doing all of this can hopefully inspire people to never give up on their dreams, to never give up on anything they want to do in life, and to hopefully find something that they're passionate about and to express that to the fullest. To gain new friends through the internet or even in real life, and to express your thoughts and feelings of what you want to do with your hobbies and with like everything that like you have these interests in, you can express them and to gain that support so you can do what you love and do what you want. That's why I do what I do. I want to inspire people. I want to do all of these things to make sure everyone can feel the same way, to make sure everyone, like even one person, to feel this way. I can do this. I can do what I want. I can train. I can teach myself just so I can make my dream come true. And this is my dream. Me sitting here talking to all of you, talking about everything and anything that I have done, I want to talk to you guys about. Because everything that I am doing affects me in a positive way, nothing negative. Because negativity can ruin you in a blink of an eye, just out of nowhere. Just one and done. Boom. Your motivation is killed. You're in an art block. You're in a music block. You're like completely done with everything. You're completely done in life. And you're completely just sick of it. And that's not what I want. That's why I'm always so positive all the time. That's why I want to stray away from the negatives and things that make me uncomfortable or anything like that. Because at that moment, like, even with the fake conversation things like, fake arguments, blah, 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 with the whole buckshot roulette game, that moment just genuinely made me, like, almost cry and call. And I don't even think they even noticed that. But after that, we went on to fake arguments and stuff like that. And I did genuinely say that they're also an inspiration to me, and they also like genuinely like helped me out through so much. Even though we didn't talk much, it's just what he does just genuinely like helps me out, and it gives me brand new ideas for what I want to do in my life. And genuinely, people like that, like, inspire me. Like, I have so many friends, and they do the same thing for me. Like, our conversations we have are just genuinely special. Like I got into games because of people. I got into certain hobbies. I trained. I got taught these sort of things from my friends. Like a couple of them. Like one of them got me into Baba Is You, and genuinely was like the greatest thing ever because I love Baba. I love Baba Is You. I have yet to finish that game, but at the same time, I just love the interactions that we've had. Like, and I've just loved like every single bit. Even though we've just strayed in silence sometimes, it's a lot of fun just being around people and just having these fun conversations. Like sometimes me and a couple of friends would get in a call and we play a game called Tetrio, which is a little online multiplayer Tetris game that you can go up to go to tetrio.com, whatever. You can look it up, and it was genuinely such a fun time that like we usually play it every now and then, and it's such a fun time. And we call each other insults, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because we're just having fun. And even though one person that I know would usually get angry about it, I know he comes back and just just calms down after a bit. But hopefully me talking about it doesn't really like make you upset or anything because I don't want to start anything. I don't want to start anything with anyone like at all. I just want like complete peace and everything. Like genuinely like listening to a ton of positivity and like a ton of things that are very positive affecting for your mental state and your mental health can really help you and can genuinely like build up this sort of passion of being a kind person and everything. Because obviously, because sometimes whenever I'm around my friends and stuff, and they usually bring up negative like topics or just like genuinely being negative to one another, even if jokes, can genuinely feel like that you're genuinely attacking them, even if you say they're a joke. You can just, I just genuinely feel like those are not jokes. You're just mad at that moment. You're just blinded with rage that you just genuinely feel like attacking someone, and that's not what I want to be around. Like, I have a couple of friends that don't like a singular person, and that's not what I want. I don't, like, I have genuinely, like, I've talked to someone about this, about the person they don't like, and they genuinely just, like, got sad after I explained to them for the past, like, what, hour and a half, just explaining to them, like, imagine if you were in their shoes, because he would get disconnected, he would get, like, kicked out, he would get trash talked, like, every single time in the VC, and he would be constantly ignored. And that's something that I dislike about people. And I'm not trying to be around that. And, like, it's something that, like, I genuinely hate being around because it'll take a negative effect on me and it'll make me think of you very differently than to how I originally thought of you. It has a negative impact on yourself and it makes people think of you in a negative way. Just because you're like expecting someone to agree with you, like two other people, doesn't mean the others will also agree with you. They can disagree with you, even if they're not vocal about it. In their tone is where you find it. And it's kind of terrible. Like, I have already cut a few people off because of their negativity, or they just genuinely like make me feel uncomfortable. Like they've done something that made me feel uncomfortable. They said something that made me feel uncomfortable. They said something about my characters that made me feel uncomfortable. And before I can even like accept the fact like, okay, they probably changed. No, they just come back to just making me more uncomfortable. Thus, I just cut them off. And because that's clearly what I don't want to be around. Because if you make me uncomfortable, I'm gonna look at you differently for nearly the end of time until you come up to me and apologize. Because what I do is I want to be positive all the time, and I do some things that I will regret. Yes, but sometimes you just got to leave it in the past. Leave it in the past and live it to the future. But sometimes things from the past can make you like can make you at this state where like you can't even forget it. Even if it's in the past, you can like still be affected by it no matter what. That's how I feel with some people that I ended up cutting off. And it's bad. I like genuinely thought they were like good friends of mine, and then out of nowhere they just start making me uncomfortable, or they just start being really negative for no reason, that eventually I just can't take that anymore. That I'm like, okay, I'm done. I don't want to be around you people. I'm not trying to deal with so much negativity. I'm not trying to deal with so much like so many things that like make me feel uncomfortable because of like the way you talk, or like the way you talk about my characters, or the way you talk about me in general. I don't like I've been constantly talked to about like so much things, and it made me just genuinely feel uncomfortable, and I hated that. Like I had someone that like talked to me, and eventually they just decided to like, because from when I talked to them, just genuinely it was like a fun time, and I ended up making them meet a couple more people, and then eventually we just strayed apart. And I had that fear for quite some time, and it's hard. It's hard talking about this now because I know it might be directed to them, but there's multiple other cases that this same thing happened, and it's not just them. It's other people, and I don't like that. And it's like they talk about me, they talk about like so much things that are personal, or they just like talk about my body in a really weird way, like me as a person, not even like my characters. Even if it was or wasn't my characters, like I will like look at you differently. I will like look at you differently as a person, and from the way you act, I think of you differently. And something about that I just genuinely like dislike for people, because sometimes people are way too comfortable around others when they barely meet. And I don't like that, because obviously you draw a line somewhere. And when they go over that, it's going to be pure, like, unforgiving chaos. And it's like, no matter how hard they try to apologize, sometimes it's just genuinely unforgivable. And the way you look at them just sticks. Because when they do bad things, okay, if it's not that bad, then you can go ahead and just forgive and forget, move on, right? But if they just keep doing it often, while you are already affected by something that they have already done, it takes a negative toll on them. And it takes a negative toll on yourself, because you think of them differently, because you think of like their past, that you think of like whenever you first met, they were so kind, and then now that like you've talked to them for such a long time, they've made their true colors fully visible to you, and it's kind of something that you hate. And like the way they talk to you, the way they like bring up certain topics, it's not good after they show their true colors, because you don't want to be around that. You don't want to be like around this sort of negativity or uncomfortableness, like about everything that they're talking about. And I think you should stray away from that. That's what I do. And it obviously doesn't give them a chance to apologize, but if you've already done so much that affects me, and you add onto that pile while I'm trying to forgive and forget, I'm not willing to put up with you. And I'm not trying to start anything. I'm just like trying to talk to all of you guys man to man about how I feel. And hopefully you guys can relate as well. Because obviously people have shown true colors when they've met for a really long time and stuff. And just something about that. It's like, man, what happened? Especially when you met like about a year ago and months go by, not even a year passed, they just completely change. And it sucks because it felt like you made a new friend and they act like the way they do to you when you first met. But then they change completely. And then they stray away from you, or they just like focus on something else. While they think we have the same friendship as I think they do. It's not. Because me, I obviously can't start conversations by that time. So I just don't. I wait for them to talk first. So I can actually talk. So they obviously strayed away from that. However, it's a completely different story when we DM each other every single day, and then eventually it just, I don't know where it turns to like every day to a couple of days to weeks to months without talking. And I don't like that. I don't like being ghosted. And the only time we talk is through somewhere else. And we don't even talk in DMs anymore. Like we can't have a man-to-man conversation like that. And it's kind of strange how it's like that. Because you might have social anxiety as well. I get it. But sometimes, if you're really close to someone, you just gotta talk to them. You just have to. Because obviously you're close to them. And you want to talk to them about all these sort of things. Like anything in their interests or in mine. Anything like that. And that's what I want. I want, like, people to understand that all of us have feelings. And that, like, you have to know when you're drawing a line. And you have to know when someone's serious or not. It's like, I joke around a lot, but when it comes to me being serious, no one can really tell. And it kind of sucks that way, because you really want to talk about something serious, but you can't, because no one will take you seriously unless you try to convince them that you're serious. And it kind of sucks that way, but obviously you can't really expect someone to be so serious when they're joking all the time, And it's kind of unfortunate when you're trying to be serious, but they can't really, like, take you seriously at all when you're always like that. But who knows? Whenever you're vocal about something, you try to make sure of it, but when they can't get it through their heads, what more can you do? And when it's like that for me, I just completely cut them off. Never to be seen again. And I don't even want anything to do with them anymore. Whenever I cut them off, I ignore. I just look away. I just genuinely don't want to be around them anymore. And I don't want to even think of them anymore. Everything that they have done for me, I want to forget. And it's strange. It's because people are way too comfortable on the internet nowadays, especially after the pandemic. But I mean too comfortable as in the negative way, not in a positive way. You can do anything to your heart's content, as long as it's positive and doesn't have a negative effect on others. And after all that, you genuinely have a goal for yourself. To continue to persevere and to continue to move on with your life with so much to do and so much goals that you are willing to conquer. Like I do. And everything that I am willing to do is will be positive until the day I die. I don't want to spread negativity to no one. And I want to make sure that everyone I'm around with feels good around me, because I feel good around them. Because I obviously don't want to bring anything that makes people uncomfortable or anything like that to someone. And that's why I want them to talk to me about that, to make sure if I'm doing something wrong, they let me know. And something about that is just like, I want to make sure I'm like the perfect person that I could be. Because I'm obviously not perfect. No one's perfect. But you can try to be. That's why you make problems known. That's why you make like your like thoughts like out there, to let people know you that you like, how do I put this? That you are willing to try and become someone that is perfect. And from what I've already talked about, I have already expressed enough like positives and negativities, and I just want to stay on the positive side of things, because I'm like sick and tired of the negatives, because people have been really negative all the time recently. Like, me moving from Twitter to Blue Sky has genuinely increased my mental health a lot. And hopefully it's the same for you guys as well. Because after this month, it has genuinely felt like an awakening of hell. Until, like, I stick to the positives and I've completely forgotten how bad things can be. And even though I'm reminded about the bad things, I still don't think about it. I genuinely just don't think about it at all. Because it's a new day. It's another time to wake up and live your life how you want it to be. And hopefully these days that you want to live, you make it the best you can be. That's how I want to live it. And everything that I have tried to do more recently, is very positive, hopefully. At least in my eyes, I have been more positive. Because I have been wanting to talk to so many of you guys. That's why I'm so open about development updates and so much other things as well. That's why I showcase some things that I'm not supposed to showcase yet. Because I feel comfortable around you people. Because I feel comfortable of showing my passions to all of you guys that show me such positive things, that you give me positive feedbacks on everything, and I genuinely feel so motivated to show you guys more. But I have to refrain because I don't want to spoil anything too spoilatory. Obviously, I want to keep those surprises so I can surprise all of you for what we're capable of with all of our projects together. And I don't know what that was, but it's whatever. So let's go over there, because that's weird. I have never seen that. Okay, so as I was saying, I just want to like make sure I do anything in my power to actually just like spread positivity to people, because that's what I want. I clearly want so much like things about each other. I want to know everything about people. I want to know everything that people are willing to like, because I want to listen to people. I want to make sure I'm around them and I'm willing to make sure they have someone by their side and someone to talk to. Because I want to be that person. I want to be that shining of light that no one else had. I want to be like that glimmer of hope that people want. I want people to be hopeful for the future. And I want people to understand that we can all fight for the future. And oh my god. Sorry about that. But I want to make sure that the future is bright for everyone, and I want to make sure that everyone is genuinely willing to actually like have hope for the future and to stay alive. Because for me, I have never felt happier being around people and talking to people and so much other things and working with people and doing what I love as a person. And I have my friends to thank. They all genuinely like made me overcome when I felt like was gonna be an eternity until the day I just like break and eventually just end it all. But thankfully, by the time of me giving up, I've met all of you guys, and being around you guys just genuinely helped me grow as a person and to make me improve on so much. And I'm very thankful for everything. And obviously, I don't express these kinds of things to my family because I'm not as open to my family as I am here. And I want to change that. I want to change that. I have shown my family a lot of what I do, but I don't reveal who I am on the internet because I want to protect them. I don't want anyone leaking my face. I don't want anyone like linking themselves like, "Oh, I'm the parent of Vibri," and a bunch of other things as well, cuz I don't cuz I don't want my personal things getting leaked. I don't want my personal problems getting leaked out there on the internet and just being like ripped to shreds by these people on the internet, cuz that's not what I want. I just want to have this separate like identity while maintaining everything between everyone around me, even my family. And it's kind of a struggle. I genuinely can't like talk about the things I do without my mom expressing concern, which I get. The internet is a scary place, and I think my mom knows that. However, I already know everything about the internet, and I'm trying to keep it a positive place as the best way I can. Even if it's not much, I want to make a change for the better, and I want to change people and how they act, because I want to be that person that makes the change. And I wish my mom knows that I'm trying my hardest to make people change. And I'm trying my hardest to make people focus on the positives and to try to overcome any problem they're willing to wanting to overcome. Because you can overcome any of your problems. It'll take months or years even, but you can do it. Any problem you're going through right now, you can go through it. Even if it takes years on end, you can get through anything that you are willing to want to overcome. Like your depression, your anxiety, your suicidal thoughts, anything like that, you can overcome eventually. It just takes time, and I want you to have that hope like I do. I want you to have hope for the future. I want you to have hope for yourself. I want you to have hope for your mental health. I want you to have hope for everything that you are currently dealing with. And I want you to have that glimmer of light in the darkness that you might be going through. And I want so much positivity around the internet, everything like that. That's why I focus on the positives all the time. I don't usually go on social medias and be like, "Oh, this platform sucks. Oh, this thing sucks." Just, even if it sucks, just appreciate what it's trying to do. And just appreciate those around you that are trying to help you. And be thankful that you've lived long enough, in some sort of way at least. And just try to focus on the positives in all of this. Because I want people to live long enough to see you overcome everything that you are dealing with currently. And I want people to be like happy again if they're ever going through depression or anxiety or having low mental states or mental health. I want people to overcome that. And if I'm around people that are dealing with these kinds of issues, I want them to know that they're loved. I want them to know that I'm there for them. I want them to know that I'm willing to talk to people, that I'm willing to make sure that they're safe and that they're well and that they're doing anything they can to stay alive. And hopefully everything that I have talked about can inspire people to keep on persevering as a person and to hopefully look to the future with a bright light and just be happy that you can live to see another day. Because some people just can't have that, and they just go on, they just pass on. And I don't want to see another life taken because of something they're going through, and that's something that I've dealt with for so long, since 2018 until at least 2023. And just genuinely, after everything, after meeting a ton of people, and after like expressing so much of my hobbies, after expressing so much like happiness and joy to people, and to be contacted saying that I've inspired them and that I've helped them through a lot, genuinely just brings me joy, and it makes me want to live another day. And because I was obviously down in the dumps back in 2018. I was dealing with social anxiety in general, depression. I made countless suicide attempts, and my mom was there to help me. My mom was there to take me to the hospital, to try to get me to be contacted with a therapist. And just my principals and my teachers, they just like genuinely cared for me, and I never saw it at that time until I fully matured as a person, and I just never thought of it that way until now. And it's just something that I cannot express enough happiness for, because without them, I don't know where I will be. I don't know where I'll be as a person, and I don't know if I'm even going to be alive, but I'm just very grateful that I'm living today, and I'm around people that I trust and I love, and so much other things. I used to have a group of friends. Some of them moved, and we pretty much parted ways until graduation, which we reunited again, and eventually we went back to just nothingness. The only other person I talk to IRL is through Discord, which is where all my other friends are, and I'm very grateful to be in contact with them still. And I love them, and I love all of you guys for being around me, for doing everything you can to help me, even with such like the tiniest things imaginable, like helping me like grow and helping me like do anything I want. I just genuinely feel like I can do anything, and even though I have some regrets, I have some things that I didn't really feel like doing at the time, but I did it anyway. And I genuinely like feel like I have completely changed as a person because of it. And everything that I have done can hopefully inspire you guys as well, alongside you guys inspiring me. And I'm very grateful for everything that you guys have given me, and I'm very grateful for everything that you guys have put me through. All of this positivity, all of this, like, all of these things, like, even if we have negative conversations together, I'm very thankful for everything that you guys have put me through. Because I wouldn't be here without all of you guys. And I hope you guys know that. Even the littlest interactions can help me a lot. And it lets me know that you guys are there for me. And that I'm there for you guys as well. And to be more open with you guys is a lifesaver. Because no one else can express this. Express thankfulness. Express anything. Express any joy like I have. But I want to change that. I want people to be more open. And I would really love it if people were more open about this sort of thing. Obviously not anything too personal, just something that they're just willing to just forgive and forget, and to overcome these problems soon enough, and to be around those you really care about, and just make sure that you're loved and you're cared for by anyone, a partner, a family member, a friend, anyone. Just make sure you're getting the support you deserve. If you ever feel down, if you feel anything changing about you. And I hope that after what I've talked about to you guys, I hope it inspired you to just be more open around people you trust, and to hopefully love people a lot more, just by realizing that any interaction that you give them helps them, alongside them interacting with you also helps yourself. And I genuinely hope for the best for everyone. And I thank everyone for having these conversations with me. I thank my friends for so much they have given me. And everything they do is genuinely be life-changing, and I cannot thank that enough. And I'm very grateful for everything, and I hope they know that. Even if you go as far as to, like, buying me something or anything, I will genuinely never forget it. And it's just something that I never had. It's just something that I never had at all, and just having everyone here, like, giving me, like, this support that I just never had as a person back then, and just being more open, just it like genuinely, like, makes me, like, so happy to be around people that, like, I genuinely care about, and I'm, like, very grateful for everything, and so much that I just never had before, and, like, it, like, genuinely makes me, like, so proud that, like, none of my attempts were successful. And I'm just, like, wondering how I even got to this point. Not even, like, wondering in a bad way. I'm just, like, in awe that my life has just genuinely turned around, and I'm like, I can't genuinely be more happy than where I am now, because I'm as happy as I can be, and I'm very thankful for everything that people have put me through, and everything, and I'm just in genuine shock that I just feel loved again. And like I just never felt this loved in my life. And I just like had no idea that uh, that I could ever feel loved again. And just after all I've been through, after everything that I have gone through since 2018 and now, has genuinely changed my life. I was not the same person as I was before. I've tried showed appreciation of those that I've trusted back then in 2018, but as the years gone by, they just ruined me. They manipulated me to do like so much things that I've just never wanted to do, and I just cut them off and quit the internet. And coming back now with everyone here just genuinely showing me support for everything, and me just improving as a person and just in general with my hobbies, just I I just can't thank enough. And I like I can't even believe it. Like I'm like sitting here crying, just reminiscing of like how I was never treated this way, and just thinking about like how much I've gone through, how much I've like put my family into, and how much I've like stressed people out for because of my own mental health, and just still being here with the amount of love and support I get. I just I just can't thank everyone enough. And like I just can't believe it that I'm just here today, that I'm still alive, and I really hope that I have done everything in my power to give everyone that glimmer of hope that I've explained earlier before, because I just want people to hope again, because I never had this support in my life. But I want to make sure you guys have that support as well, something that I never had. I want to give people something that I never had in my life until now. And hopefully I genuinely give people something to be happy about. And hopefully one day we'll all persevere and overcome any problem we have, and we all just genuinely be better people at the end of the day, because obviously we're not perfect. And I want to make sure everyone is safe, everyone is happy, because that's what I want. And I want everyone to be happy in the end as well, because I want people to live a life without any regrets, and I want people to see that. So, thank you. I genuinely thank everyone that I've interacted to, even if I cut you off and everything in that matter. I just genuinely wouldn't be here without any of you guys. And I just can't appreciate it enough. I can't express the appreciation, because genuinely you all changed me and becoming who I am today as a person. And just being here by myself in this little game about fishing, nonetheless, just genuinely made me have a conversation to you guys. Makes me feel happy that I have all of you guys around me. And I just cannot thank it enough. So, really, thank you. All of you. Genuinely for just changing my life and making me, like, become the person who I am today. And just genuinely, like, just making me do what I love. And making me be around you guys, someone I can trust once more. Because back then I didn't have anyone I could really trust. I was manipulated. I was like harassed and a bunch of things that I eventually had to cut off and take a break off the internet, and I had to move to a completely new account, being this one. And hopefully you guys appreciate everything that I have done, even if I have made you uncomfortable before, if I had problems with you before. I just genuinely hope that I've done something for you. And I cannot express that enough. Just thank you guys so much for everything. And I just really hope all of you guys, if you are dealing with something, you just persevere and move on. Hopefully soon enough. Because obviously bad things are going to happen, but at the end of the day, I want you living another day. I don't want you just wasting a life. I want you to keep going. I want you to keep walking. I want you to have a glimmer of hope for the future and for everyone you're around. And I want you to be more open. I want you to be around people more. And just hopefully striving to become a better person than you already are. You might already be a good person, but you can push that. You can be better. I want you to be the greatest that you can be. And I want you to be the happiest you can be, without having to sacrifice anything. Because I want what's best for you. And I want everything that you have gone through to be forgotten. Or at least staying with you in a positive manner. That's what I want of you. To all of you. Just thank you guys so much. And thank you guys so much for watching this. Listening to this with like a tab open and just doing something else, and just listening to me rambling on and on about like certain things that I had to deal with, and so much other things as well. I cannot thank you enough if you're listening to this all the way. Thank you guys so much. I love all of you. I thank you guys so much for watching. I'm willing to do another part if you guys want. And yeah, that's pretty much all I can really say. And thank you guys so much for listening to me. If you've listened throughout this time, just thank you guys so much. I love all of you. Peace.